America birthday, very old country, 249 years old. I've counted very old, older than your mother. And I have to say, in honor of this year's July 4th, I am going to show you some of the biggest meltdowns you've ever seen in your entire life. The Democrats did not take America birthday very well. The real No King's Day, despite what everyone goes and yells and screams about. And I will do one more. Trump is currently getting canceled. Not just for his big, beautiful bill, which we will be talking about in this video. Not just for being a patriot, but we will be talking about this in the video. But they are canceling him for, get ready, being anti-Semitic. He gets canceled one day for being controlled by the Jews, and then the next day he gets canceled for hating the Jews. It is a fantastic timeline. So we'll start with this. This is a clip from Mr. President's rally, okay? All right, and Hasan, you have to, I'm telling you, you are not ready. This video is gonna be diabolical, right? This in honor of America birthday. I know that it's coming out on 2 days late, but I had to gather all of the greatest meltdowns ever because you need to see them. Subscribe, let's up those numbers, and enjoy. So this was a clip from Trump's rally.
But if you love them, or if you love somebody that you're leaving it to, think of that. No death tax, no estate tax, no going to the banks and borrowing from, in some cases, a fine banker, and in some cases, shylocks and bad people. But
so you'll notice he says sometimes you get a fine banker and sometimes you get a shylock. Now, for those of you who don't know the term Shylock, which is most people, Shylock is like an ancient Shakespeare term that he used for like greedy Jewish bankers. Now, again, it's rooted in anti-Semitism for sure, but the way it's used now is just basically any greedy bank guy. So this guy makes a statement like this, talking about the big beautiful bill, how it's going to cut down everybody's taxes, 68% tax decrease from the big beautiful bill, and he's out there, sometimes you get a good banker, sometimes you get Shylocks, and everyone's like, holy ballsack, bro hates Jews. He's an anti-Semite, let's get him. And no one holds the mantle of the bro hates Jews mentality better than everyone's favorite Jew hater, Hasan Piker. Now, Hasan, instead of actually covering the politics, which is his job, he decided to make a video. This is real anti-Semitism. Did Trump say Shylocks? Now, Hasan Piker is the largest leftist political streamer, and he hates Jews. He is a prolific Jew hater. All right, from wielding swords with swastikas on it when he's criticizing Jews, to going the other way and saying that every Jew basically needs to be excised from society. I'll show you a couple of bangers, a couple of banger Hasan clips. But Hasan decided to dedicate a whole video to saying that Trump is anti-Semitic. Motherfucker. Mr. Hasan Piker. Trump literally has Jewish grandchildren, a Jewish son-in-law. His daughter converted to Judaism. He went to a rabbi's grave in New York to pray to win the election, okay, before his 2016 win and before his 2024 win. Bro is not anti-Semitic. You have to stop. Okay, could we not be so pathetic for like 4 seconds, please? As if Hasan cares about Jews. All of a sudden, Hasan cares about Jews. Now, again, you might remember, Hasan has also made believe he cared about Jews another time. Look at how many videos he made about how Elon Musk is a Nazi for doing his Nazi salute. Oh my God, Nazi speech. Oh my God, Nazi salute. Oh my God, Nazi salute. Oh my God, Nazis. Another one. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. Anyway, Hasan made 74 videos. 74 videos on how on the Nazi salute that Elon made. All right, Hasan, defender of Jews. You gotta respect the shit out of this guy. Yes, he wants to kill all the Jews in Israel, as well as every Zionist around the world, which is all the Jews. But you know, hey, listen, I'm glad that we have Hasan Piker to defend the Jewish people. He is also known for clips like this.
I think, like, this will never happen, but in a totally just world, any kind of, regardless of your background, any kind of fucking Zionist tendency should be treated in the same way as being a fucking rabid neo-Nazi.
A Zionist tendency, by the way, is thinking that Israel, the country, has the right to exist. So, you know, 95% of Jews, and also most Christians.
and you shouldn't even let someone be the fucking local dog catcher as Felix was posting.
Yeah.
If they've ever exhibited any sort of fucking any positive feelings about the state of Israel. I'm so serious about this.
So anyway, so that's our boy defending the Jews all of a sudden.
All of the popularity that you get, there are going to be people that, for example, come to you and say, "Oh, I guess you love Hamas then." And in that moment, you can't fucking yield.
All right, so this is Hasan saying you cannot fucking yield and say that you disavow Hamas, the terrorist organization hell-bent on destroying every Jew on the planet. Or what about this one?
Ethan's words can make him seem pro-Zionist and that he should be more thoughtful, but when he pointed out that your language can come off as supportive of terrorism, why not just admit that you're careless sometimes too to his fans? It made you look like you can't admit fault. I have no problem with the Houthis. Yeah, because I don't. What do you mean? If you
All right, so this is a clip of him saying that he has no problems with the Houthis.
Think I'm a terrorism supporter for that reason, then yeah, I'm a fucking terrorism supporter.
He is a terrorist supporter. He is the largest leftist political streamer, also a terrorist supporter, important to note. He supports the Houthis. The Houthis, by the way, want to put all Jews on pikes. All right, that's what the Houthis say, all right? They say a curse upon the Jews, death to Israel, death to America, okay? So he supports those guys, all right? Has he done anything else? This is a 3-minute compilation of him calling Jews inbred.
Why? We recoiled when people screamed resist by any means, telling us that we are all inbred and that we have no culture. We shuddered when an activist held up a sign telling Jewish students they were Hamas's next targets. And
all right, next clip.
Hamas mob started chasing us, calling us in the middle of campus, calling us inbred, that we have no culture. One of them grabbed my friend's Israeli flag in the middle of campus, tied it to a mob by the gate that were communicating with the angry mobs outside of campus. They threw hard objects at him. They started harassing him. They tried to light his flag.
Next clip, please.
That's why I always personally bring up the West Bank. Because the way that the Israeli occupying force and the Israeli government has conducted itself in the West Bank is something that even Americans can understand as unconscionable, because it is literally the Jewish KKK brigades,
of course,
out there. Just a bunch of fucking inbred hicks, literally doing pogroms to the Arab population.
All right, we got
kicking
it. Next
them out
clip.
deliberately from their...
Next clip.
Okay, like imagine the most inbred white supremacist guy.
Right, that's all Jews.
Imagine.
Jews are just all inbred white supremacists. Okay,
like
next
the
clip.
most illiterate,
he says it again.
Inbred religious fundamentalist, white supremacist guy you've ever thought of.
Hasan
Think
Piker,
about it. Close your eyes and think
largest progressive leftist streamer.
About that guy, okay? Eyes looking in different directions.
Right, inbred.
Okay? Now, instead of that guy being Christian, imagine if that guy was Jewish.
Jewish inbred people.
And was currently actively doing... the beginning, like in a couple months in after October 7, every week there was another fucking psychopathic settler, inbred fucking douchebag, wearing fucking military fatigues, shooting another Israeli dude because he thought,
unbelievable, all these inbred Jews. Next clip.
Inbred fucking douchebags.
Oh, look at those inbred people. They're just random Jews in the background, by the way. Random Jews in the background. All those. Anyway, you get the idea. This is a 3-minute compilation of him calling Jews inbred. But you get the idea, all right? So I just thought it's important to note that the people that are criticizing Trump for being anti-Semitic, okay, for saying the word shylocks, are just demonstrable Jew haters. Like, that's the irony here, okay? It's absolutely diabolical. All right, so anyway, of course, he's not the only one. You get Brian Krastenstein, another massive far leftist guy all of a sudden.
Shylocks and bad people.
Oh my God, shylocks, I can't believe it, shylocks. Oh, Nazis used the word shylock in 1938. Oh my God, Trump used the word that Nazis also used. That's crazy. Next you're gonna tell me that he breathes air just like Hitler. Oh my Lord. So anyway, Alex Jones, of course, shylocks and bad people. Methinks thou doth protest too much, right? Pretty hilarious, pretty funny, huh? Pretty good. Now, if you look at the actual coverage of the big, beautiful bill, all right? This is the big, beautiful bill coverage. I'm not even kidding. Axios. Trump pleads ignorance after anti-Semitic slur. NBC News. Trump uses anti-Semitic slur. Routers. Trump criticized for anti-Semitic Shylock. CNN, Trump says he never heard Shylock. This is the news! No one's even talking about the actual big, beautiful bill anymore. Everyone's so hell-bent on this. Look at this. Trump says he didn't know offensive term. Trump criticized anti-Semitic slur. ADL slams Donald Trump. Bro, this is insane. This is insanity. Oh my God, these people are such pussies. So, the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, these guys are retards. We welcome Joe Biden's admission he erred in describing those who take financial advantage of American servicemen and women as shylocks, because Biden also called them shylocks. Then you have people being like, can't wait for the ADL to condemn Trump. And, of course, they did. The ADL condemns Donald Trump for saying shylocks. This is so crazy. These people are so pathetic. None of these people actually care. All right, so the AF Post, you know, decides to farm likes off this Shylock, right?
Bad people, but they, in some cases, Shylocks and...
Right, so they are also AF Post. But if you look at AF Post, Trump anti-Semitic, I am not even joking. They are trying so hard to paint Trump as an anti-Semite. It's unbelievable. If you say anything bad about Israel, the Jewish people, you're finished. All right, what First Amendment? It's a different post. Trump agrees Kamala Harris's husband is a horrible Jew. What the fuck? Why are you doing this? Is crazy. Trump said Israel needs to finish the job. All right, Trump taunted Jewish employees with Nazi oven jokes. What the fuck? Oh, according to ex-Trump organization VP. Of course we're gonna write an entire article according to the ex-Trump organization VP with zero evidence. Absolutely, yes, of course he did all. They are trying so hard, absolutely so hard to paint him as some sort of crazy anti-Semite, Jew hater, all right? It is mind-blowing how pathetic this shit is, because it really is. Now, I wanted to show you, before we get into Trump's speech, that's literally blowing up right now. I had to show you the meltdowns. All right, so July 4th, America Day. America's the greatest country in the world. It's fucking awesome. I love America. God bless America. And here's the diabolical thing. The retards are protesting. They are melting down.
I'm here enjoying a nice day at the beach with my kids. And I turn around. I got these flags planted here on the beach. By
American flags in America?
MAGA fucks. Listen, this is all America. We know. You didn't storm the beaches to stake out your territory on the beach. This isn't the fucking moon. I get it. This is America. But I'm sick of my flag being represented by white nationalist trash.
How do you know there's a white nationalist trash? How do you know what you're saying? Bro's just saying, American flag, so MAGA, ugh.
On a goddamn beach.
Yeah, classic. Most rational guy. But don't worry, because that's not the only July 4th meltdown. Bro, this is the big, beautiful bill has passed. All right, this is Trump's new bill that passed in the Senate because he keeps winning. Trump keeps winning. I don't know what's going on. He keeps winning. Subscribe if you like Trump winning. Don't subscribe if you don't like Trump winning, because we will probably be covering more Trump wins, because... Listen, man keeps winning. So, first of all, I don't know what the hell's going on here, but...
Are you feeling nervous?
No! No! Oh my God, holy tattoo. Oh my God, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm telling, this is your average TikTok white liberal woman out here to cry about Trump passing a bill that she probably has no idea what's actually in it, while blasting copyrighted music just for me. Now here you will notice the mayor of New Jersey, one of the mayors in New Jersey, waving a pride flag during the 4th of July parade instead of an American flag. Very cool, very cool. I'm glad you love our country. Hell yeah, dude. Now this one's a pretty diabolical TikTok on and this one's fucking awesome. I love this so much.
It's 4th of July weekend. There's so much to celebrate, right?
Right.
No, there really isn't.
Oh, there isn't?
The truth of the matter is the freedom and independence that the 4th of July holiday is supposed to represent never included all Americans or all people in America.
Are you fucking retarded? Are you crazy? You literally have the ability to post this on the internet.
Right? So back in 1776,
oh, right, 1776.
Black folks were still enslaved. So that's not anything to celebrate.
Yeah, and who sold them? Who sold the black folks? Who was the predominant slaver of black folks? You know, I'm even going to put it into grok. Just out of curiosity. I don't know the answer. I'm just asking questions. All right. Who was the predominant slaver of black people in 1776 by race? Just out of curiosity. All right. Not in American colonies. Around, okay, because I said 1776. Around the world. All right, primarily from Britain. Okay. Who were the predominant sellers? That's crazy. I didn't even know that. Oh, no, never mind. They purchased them from African elites and kingdoms along the West African coast. All right, well, that sucks. That sucks.
Okay, so
yo, Dimitri, thanks for the post on the front page of Kick. Hell yeah, dude.
What I want to challenge you to do this weekend, and you should really do this every single day if you want to live an anti-racist lifestyle, but specifically for this weekend, instead of spending all your money on the red, white, and blue everything, ask yourself, where am I benefiting from the labor of black people?
Yes, I actually also do celebrate July 4th, asking myself where I celebrate from the labor of black people.
And what am I giving to them in return? Whether it's free labor, unpaid labor like social media, or whether it's inequitable paid labor. Where are you benefiting from labor from us? And what are you giving in return?
What?
Usually, if it's for social media, you know, we give you specific directions on what to do after you consume our content. So do that today.
Hi, it's July 4th. Donate to a black person today. Hell yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Frick yeah! TikToker says instead of celebrating the 4th of July, give your money to black people. Incredible idea. This will solve racism one step at a time. I have advice for you. Get a job. But anyway, no one wants to hear my opinion. All right, so next.
My whole house is on Medicaid. My husband, me, our baby daughter. Okay, we're all on Medicaid. Without Medicaid, I wouldn't.
Are you losing Medicaid?
Be able to have the birth control in my arm that I have.
You wouldn't have the what?
I wouldn't be able to have the birth control in my arm.
Why the fuck do you need birth control in your arm? Next.
That I have. Without Medicaid, I wouldn't be able
Without Medicaid, would you be fat? Because you're fat. It's not healthy.
To have the antidepressants that I have.
All right. Okay. All right. Wow, this is your average Trump hater, I guess. Wow.
At no cost to me.
Right.
Without Medicaid, I wouldn't be able to go to therapy.
Oh, therapy,
continue
of course.
to be the mom I am.
Obviously.
To the 3 kids and 2 separate houses that I have to do.
Of course.
Without Medicaid, my daughter wouldn't be able to go and get her vaccines and go and get all of the things that she needs as an 18-month-old baby.
Yeah, she would. She would anyway. Yeah, sure. She's not losing Medicaid.
Without Medicaid, my husband wouldn't be able to go and get the medications that he needs and the treatment that he needs for his disability.
Oh, God. What's his disability? Is he retarded?
Without Medicaid, not a single person in my house would have health care. We are low income. Our only income is my husband's SSI.
Get a job! Oh, my God. Why is everyone doing this? Get a job, lady! I don't understand. Why don't you work?
We're on food stamps. We use food pantries.
Yeah, this isn't going away, by the way, all right? This isn't going away. The big, beautiful bill isn't taking everyone off Medicaid. Oh, my Lord.
Okay, without Medicaid, we would never be healthy. And
bitch, you weigh 400 pounds! What does Medicaid have to do with this? Oh my God. All right. I'm so fucking done. I'm so done, bro. She doesn't want to get a job and is now worried about losing Medicaid and food stamps. She relies on the government for handouts funded by working Americans' tax dollars. True.
Our worth as human beings is not measured by how productive we are for the American government.
You're right. And I don't have to pay for your shit because we're not communists. Now, anyway, I think it's important to note, while everyone is crashing out over the fact that illegal immigrants are getting deported, because this is one of the big things in the big beautiful bill, is a lot of funding to ICE to deport illegal immigrants, let me show you what the American people have to say about deporting illegal immigrants. Dude, every single time I try to play a clip from CNN, shit crashes. Every time. It's almost fate ordained.
Undocumented immigrants. Voters favoring the government trying to deport all 11 million of them. Back in 2016, just 38% of voters wanted the government to try to deport all 11 million undocumented immigrants. Compared to where we are in 2025, 56%, the majority. Ooh. The American people have come a long way on this issue, much closer to Donald Trump, and I think that's a big part of the reason why Americans are increasingly saying the country is on the right track when it comes to immigration policy, and why Donald Trump's net approval rating on that issue is in the positive.
Now, important to note, all right, this is all Americans, all right? This isn't just Republicans. And also important to note, this isn't just violent criminals. This is every single person in the country illegally. Every single one, okay? The ones that are working in farms and the ones that are picking the crops, all right? This is all of them. This isn't some of them. This isn't unproductive ones. This isn't gang members. If they are illegal in the country, get the fuck out. Everyone seems to agree on this take because it's reasonable as balls. Now, interestingly enough, because everyone's so infuriated by the big, beautiful bill funding ICE agents and people like that, let me make something very clear, okay? Between November 2024 and February 2025, over 100,000 patients, all right, who visited hospitals in Texas admitted they were in the country illegally. Over 600,000 patients declined to answer, okay? The cost of care for illegals in 4 months was $434 million. And this is just Texas. And you know who's paying for that? You know who's paying all that amount of money? You know who's paying all of that? No, it's not the hospitals. It's me and it's you. We are paying for that. It's our taxes that are paying for this, bro. Our taxes over the course of 4 months in Texas alone spent over $400 million on illegal immigrants. So listen, I know that the big beautiful bill is raising the debt ceiling, but there's a very good reason why I still think it's important and a net positive. Right, these are people celebrating the 4th of July by lighting an American flag on fire. Very deeply unhappy people. Anyway, so this is wonderful. I love this so much. Look at how sad she is. This is Joy Reid. She used to be on CNN until she got fired for being too lame and gay. It's a sad consequence of being lame and gay.
Chess part. This is really important because this big bad betrayal bill is not disconnected from what we're seeing with immigration on the streets. It actually supercharges ICE's activities in terrorizing local communities, in kidnapping and disappearing and deporting immigrants across this country.
Let me rephrase that. We are funding ICE agents to deport illegal people in the country. All right? We are funding people to follow the law. I don't see any betrayal. I don't know of any kidnapping. All right? You are such a bitch.
Right now, for detention, for ICE detention, we spend about $3.5 billion. The big bad betrayal bill increases that number to $45 billion.
Let's up those numbers!
From $3.5 billion. So across the board, and then there's separate money for ICE agents, for any number
look at all of them crying.
Of pieces of the transportation, the deportation, all of that. So it is really essentially saying if whatever you see right now, Joy, multiply that by 10 to 12 times.
Let's go! Let's freaking go!
That's what we're going to start.
Dude, I get my good news from leftist meltdowns, okay? This is literally the best way to get good news. Watching retards crying.
Seeing in terms of ICE agents terrorizing, disappearing, kidnapping immigrants.
They don't do any of that, okay? They're deporting. They're not disappearing and kidnapping anybody.
Deporting them to third countries.
To their countries! They are sending them home, baby.
Holding them in incarceration facilities. These are jails now. These are not really civil detention centers, which is what
yeah, unlike Biden, who left them out in the sun in Arizona. True.
they're supposed to be.
I mean, concentration camps is what I call them. We just looked at that.
Oh, that's what you call them. Very cool. I'm really glad that we got your benevolent insight. You call them concentration camps. Okay, retard. All right. Who's the real anti-Semite? I don't know. Trump, the guy who said shylocks like everyone else says in the fucking, that works in New York City? Or is it maybe the person that's saying that it's a concentration camp to get illegal people out of the country? You tell me what's more anti-Semitic. I don't know. Anyway, here's another leftist protest, on July 4th. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Free the people. Free the people. Free the people. Free the people. Free the Same energy! Anyway, this is diabolical because, interestingly enough, if you look at the actual stats on the actual country, bro, if you look at the actual stats on the actual country, things are actually going really freaking well.
Erica, my friend, happy 4th of July. And today on our Independence Day, I'm looking into whether or not Americans feel proud to be an American. And as it turns out, Democrats, their percentage who say they're proud to be an American has fallen through the floor. What are we talking about? Take a look.
Turns out Democrats are kind of being, 36% of them, all right? At least 36%.
Look here. Democrats' pride to be an American, extremely or very proud. In 2015, look at this. 4 out of 5 Democrats were extremely or very proud to be an American. That number has plummeted to just 36% now in 2025. A low this century has fallen by more than half since 2015 as Donald Trump has become, of course, president once again this year. Now, what is driving that decline? Well, a lot of it...
I think it's fear-mongering and social media and the mainstream media. I think it's media and fear-mongering. I think it's all rooted in nothingness. That's my opinion.
Has to do with age. What are we talking about? Well, Generation Z Democrats, proud to be an American or not. Of course, Generation Z, born since 1997. Look at this. Only 24% of Generation Z Democrats are extremely or very proud to be an American. That is actually lower, Erica. That is lower than the percentage who say they have little or no pride to be an American.
Yeah, that's fear-mongering. It's the school system. It's a whole lot of things all mixed together, but it's horrible.
At 32%. I just never thought I'd see these numbers based upon where we were a decade ago, but that's exactly where we are. Now, if Democrats have extremely less pride to be an American than they used to, what about Republicans? Well, this is where the trend line gets interesting. Because with Republicans, there is no trend line. In fact, take a look here. Republicans' pride to be an American, extremely or very proud. In 2015, it was 90% back when Barack Obama was serving his second term. Now in Donald Trump's second term, it's basically the same percentage, 92%. So Republicans still are extremely or very proud to be...
Incredibly based, proud. Republicans are proud people, and I think that's very respectable. All right, so Trump gave his little Big Beautiful Bill speech on July 4th and then signed the Big Beautiful Bill. So I wanted to actually take a look at that because everyone's losing their fucking mind over it. And so definitely lock in because this is gonna be us listening to the daddy of America. All right, let's see what's going on.
All right, we do have President
That's so nice, man.
Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump.
Trump is like the only world leader whose wife actually looks like a woman. Is that controversial to say? I feel like this is controversial to... Yeah, I'm gonna get canceled. And moving on! Yeah, America!
We love you!
Hey! Make women women again. Remove their penises. They shouldn't have them. Peni, I call them. He's just staring at everyone. He keeps staring.
over.
There's a lot of staring. He salutes. All right, very cool. That's gonna get copyrighted. Yes, the American national anthem is copyrighted. Actually, that's cringe. But...
Just a week ago. All
right.
Well, thank you very much, and that is some sight, especially after what happened just a week ago. When you look at that big, beautiful plane, and the other ones were something. It was an incredible mission, and I think I can say very proudly, and I don't have to quote the polls, that our country is more proud right now than it's been in many, many years.
Well, half the country, the other half the country's at suicide watch.
Something that's happened miraculously so fast. You know that our military now is the most sought-after job there's ever been, serving in our military. 1 year ago, people didn't want to join our military. They didn't want to join our police or firefighters. They didn't want to join anything having to do with our country. And now, as you probably know, the enlistment is at an all-time record. We're packed.
He is true. He is right, by the way. People are proud to be an American. Not only that, okay, so I'm going to show you some random Jew moment, in case you're curious. So, are you familiar with the challah? It's like the big Jewish bread that Jews have on Shabbat and stuff. Right, so they have been actually mass producing B-2 bomber-shaped challah. And this has got to be the most patriotic thing I've ever seen in my entire life. B-2 bomber shaped. Oh God. Now this is everything anyone could have ever hoped for. But yes, true. Anyway.
We're full. And I just think that's so important because that was so sad 1 year ago when I heard those statistics.
The military used to be lame and gay, and I've changed all of that.
President.
Everyone going into the military must remove their pants and have sex with a female before we even look at them any further.
But nobody wanted to join, and now we're at a record. And I will say that I just left NATO, where we had a tremendous experience. They've agreed to put up over $1 trillion a year. They went from less than 2% to 5%, and nobody thought that was possible.
Yeah.
And they told me very strongly, the leaders of a big part of the world, very respected people all, they told me that, 1 year ago your country was dead. And now
it's hot.
You have the hottest country anywhere in the world.
Hot.
So that's the way it is, and that's the way we like it. And it's only going to get hotter. I promise you that.
Nuclear hot.
After that spectacular display of American power, let me just say that God bless the United States military, and God bless the USA.
Yeah, amen, King. Yeah, baby.
And to all Americans, I want to wish you a very happy Independence Day, happy 4th of July. This is going to be something special. There's spirit in this country. We haven't seen anything like it.
Half the country is literally living so high. The other half the country is just fear-mongering, sitting in their closets, taking the last of their anti-depression meds.
In many, many years and decades. Let me also express our gratitude to our magnificent First Lady. She worked very hard to make this all work.
My wife even looks
and we
like
have a fireworks
woman.
display.
Not like Obama's wife. Not like the French president's wife, if you could call her a wife.
Out 9 o'clock tonight. I hope you're all going to be around and watch it. I know our congressmen and our senators who are standing right here, so many of them, they did such a great job. They're going to be here. I guarantee you, they're not leaving. They're not leaving. Thanks as well to the National Park Service, the USO, and countless friends and distinguished guests. We have so many people in the audience that have so much to do with the success of our country. We've, I think, had probably the most successful almost 6 months as a president and the presidency. I think they're saying it was the best 6 months, and I know for a fact they're saying the last 2 weeks there has never been anything like it as far as winning.
Yep, he keeps winning. He's not
so
wrong.
As you know, 2 weeks
winning.
ago, our incredible Air Force pilots conducted one of the most successful military strikes in all of history, Operation Midnight Hammer, and that's exactly what it was. It was a hammer.
God.
This evening,
Melania likes my midnight hammer.
We're honored to be joined by 150 airmen and their families.
Let's go, dude.
From Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri. home of the B-2 bomber.
Yeah! The B-2 bomber.
And we've kept them a little bit on guard. We kept them a little bit, let's be a little bit quiet about it. But if you want to raise your hand very quickly, raise your hand, because you people are just incredible.
Yeah. Isn't it nice to have a president that likes our military?
We don't want to be in disguise, you know?
Isn't it nice to have a president that's not, like, embarrassed of our military?
Us like we're a bunch of babies. We don't have to be in disguise. We saw all those hands go up. Thank you very much. We owe you everything. Great job. Incredible. Just flawless. One of the most flawless military campaigns in the history of our country. If you remember years ago, they had helicopters crashing into each other. It was a disaster, the hostages in Iran. And we had just the opposite. We didn't have any crashes. We didn't lose any planes.
No
we
crashes,
didn't lose
no
anybody. Those beautiful planes that you saw were totally stealth.
We
They
bombed
flew right
the
over
fuck
the
out of
center
them.
of a very hostile country.
We cooked
And they
them.
never even saw it coming. And then they said, skedaddle. They dropped the bombs. They said, skedaddle. And that big sucker turned over like this on its side, and it got out of there.
God damn.
Well, I'll tell you what, how they do
Look at
that, but
that's so
they
dope,
can do it. I
man.
asked
Oh my
our
God.
great General Kane, how do they do that? Do they really love doing that? Look at them, they're all laughing. And they said, do they really like doing it, sir? They can't wait.
Yeah.
Better you than me.
Nothing like bombing bullshit. Am I right, gamers? Nothing more patriotic than bombing some motherfuckers.
That's all I can say. It was a flawless mission. Every single bomb hit, and it was total obliteration. Total obliteration. Now, even the fake news is admitting that. They hated to admit it.
True.
But they had no choice. That was an incredible thing.
For some reason, the fake news wanted Iran to have a nuclear weapon. They said they didn't have one. Then they said, okay, they do have one, but you failed to destroy it. Something was fishy there.
And these heroic pilots showed our enemies what it means to fly, fight, and win.
Yeah.
To every service member who supported that mission, and we have many of them here. We've made we've made you proud by supporting, but you've made us even prouder by having the courage to get in those gorgeous machines and fly through the roughest airspace anywhere in the world.
Damn.
And we salute fly through the roughest airspace anywhere in the world. And we salute you, and we honor you. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you.
Best.
And we're also honored and delighted to be joined by hundreds of service members and military families. Those families are the best we have from all across the U.S. Armed Forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, Space Force. I love the Space Force. You know why?
Oh my God.
Because we're the ones that did it. It turned out to be a very invaluable force, actually.
Oh my
the Coast
God,
Guard and
that's
the Marines
insanity.
are incredible people. On behalf of
You know
our
why I
entire
like the Space
nation,
Force?
this 4th of July,
We're
we thank
awesome.
you for keeping America safe, strong, sovereign, and free. Thank you very much for being here.
Oh
Great
my
honor.
God, that's insane.
And stick around for the fireworks.
The Space Force is
Our
awesome.
country's had so
We
much
meet
to
those
celebrate this
communist
Independence
fucks.
Day. As we enter our 249th year, America is winning, winning, winning like never before.
God
We're not,
damn.
I'll tell you, we're in a category now that's where we've wanted to be for a long time. We suffered with 4 horrible years of embarrassment.
Oh God, don't even tell me.
Afghanistan, maybe the most embarrassing moment in the history of our
American
country.
history.
We're never going to let a thing like that
Never
happen
gonna
again.
let that happen again.
Trillions of dollars are pouring into the United States for investment purposes.
Based.
Almost $15 trillion. There's never been anything like it. There's never been anything even close. The stock market's at an all-time high.
True.
Jobs are at an all-time high.
True.
Everything's at an
True.
all-time high.
He's right. He's
and we're
literally
going to keep
right.
it that way. We have the greatest country in
people
the
are
world,
crying.
and we're back. We're back like nobody thought possible this quickly. I thought it would take maybe a year, maybe 2 years, maybe even 3. And we did it in less than 6 months. We are back and strong. We've restored American strength and deterrence on the world stage. We're respected again. The world is respecting us again. When we did NATO, those leaders came up to me and they said, you know what, we're going to go to a
Mr.
new
Trump,
level of spending because you're
do
requesting.
we take turns blowing you in the bathroom, Mr. President? And I said, of course, no problem, none at all.
It, sir. They didn't talk to your last president like that, I can tell you. They didn't spend any money. They didn't spend anything. In a few moments, we're going to make official the greatest victory yet when I signed the one big, beautiful bill.
God damn. Crazy
And
he
before
actually
I
passed
start,
that.
I want to tell you that I've never seen people so happy in our country because of that. Because so many different groups of people are being taken care of, the military and civilians of all types, jobs of all types. We're adding things like the biggest tax cut in the history of our country.
Yeah, dude. This is a good thing for every person that's actually a good person, right? Anyone that has a job, which should be every adult, is going to definitely see this in a good way. That's my opinion, all right? That is my opinion. That's what I have to say. If you are unhappy about the tax cuts, then you are the problem. Maybe try contributing to your country a little bit.
Child tax credits, so
The
many.
media literally is like, it's only gonna be good for the top 1%. Actual bullshit. If you actually read any part of it, it is the most beneficial for the middle class. The middle class will benefit the most from the tax cuts. And in order to get to middle class, you know what you got to do? Get a job. And you become middle class. It's literally that. Okay, I'm obviously oversimplifying things. Obviously, there's hedge cases for sure, but you can fucking get there. You can do it. You can do it, gamers. Stop crying.
Many things are being added that we wouldn't even.
But I wanted to live off the government. I loved what Mother Russia looked like. Yeah, sure you did.
Have time to discuss them. When we were doing it, John Thune and Mike Johnson right there. I see Mike. What a job they've done.
Free memberships to all white women over 250 pounds.
What a job they've done. But you know, it was supposed to be in 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7 different bills. And I was on one of the fake news shows and I said, let's do it in one beautiful, big, we want one big, beautiful bill. I said that to this newscaster, and I think a lot of the congressmen and senators were watching, and they said, let's name the bill that, the one big, beautiful bill. And that's what we did, and what we've done is put everything into one bill. It's never.
And my hot take is I don't think one big beautiful bill, 1,000 page long, endless content bill is a good play. Personally, I would have preferred if it was a lot of small one-liner bills. That would have been my preference. That just me personally. I do think that the big beautiful bill is definitely a net positive. It is 1,000,000% a net positive on our country, 1,000%. It is, okay? Are there a couple things that I would rather not be there? Yeah, sure, okay, whatever. Net positive, 100%. Absolutely.
Never happened before. It's the biggest bill of its type in history. We've never had anything like that before. Nothing like that they thought would be possible to get passed. And actually, I liked it because we had so much in there that no matter who you are, there was something in that bill that would make your congressman or your senator or your congresswoman, much more importantly, raise their hand and support, right?
Yeah.
Lisa?
Yeah.
So that was something, and it was really something special. So the American people gave us a historic mandate in November. We won everything. We won the swing states, all 7 swing states. We won every one. That rarely happens. We won the popular vote.
No way.
We won the districts.
Oh my God, he's gonna be mentioning that on his deathbed. Like, dude, that's diabolical.
750 to 505. That's why when you look at a map, it's all red, a little
All
blue
red.
on each end.
Red for Republican.
But it's all red. And by the way, red means Republican, just in case. But we made promises, and it's really promises made, promises
my God,
kept, and we've
dude.
kept them. This is a triumph of democracy on the birthday of democracy, and I have to say that the people are happy. They're happy. And I listened to a broadcast, and I read a couple of articles. They have the Democrats, they should have voted for it. They didn't vote for tax cuts. They didn't vote for taking care of people. They didn't vote, not one vote. And we knew that because their hatred of either
Because they hate America. They hate America, okay? They literally do not like their country.
Country or me or both is so great. They didn't vote at all, and it's terrible. But I just have to say, they have a routine. It's terrible, they say. Terrible, terrible. You saw that guy standing up for hours yesterday. He didn't know what he was even doing there. I say, when's he sitting down? He had a towel. He's wiping his face. That's not too elegant. But what is he? I said, what is he doing for so long? And he couldn't criticize the bill. He was criticizing everyone else and everything else. So they've developed, and this is according to
he stood there for like 10 hours.
They've developed a standard line, and we can't let them get away with it. Oh, it's dangerous. Oh, everybody's going to die. It's actually just the opposite. Everybody's going to live. This is just the opposite. And I just want you to know if you see anything.
Think of all the illegal immigrants that are losing free health care. No!
Negative put out by Democrats, it's all a con job. And they said, and they compared it to just like the con job of Russia, 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 and all of the other things they did. The 51 intelligence agents said, and the laptop from hell, it came from Russia, they said. No, it didn't come. A lot of things come from Russia. That didn't come from Russia. And it was all proven out to be a fake job, and that's what they're doing with this. So we just have to look forward,
fake
fellas.
Jobs,
look forward and just
jobs,
say what it is, because it's the most popular.
Jobs are through the roof. Media with their fake jobs, and me with my blow jobs, and Americans getting real jobs. Look at that.
Bill ever signed in the history of our country, whether you're military or anybody else. This is the most popular bill ever signed.
It's a bill.
And it includes the largest tax cut in American history, the largest spending cut, $1.7 trillion. And yet you won't even notice it. Just waste, fraud, and abuse in American history. So you have the biggest tax cut, the biggest spending cut, the largest border security investment in American history. We want to have strong borders. And the only thing is we want to have great elections, too. You need strong borders and elections. And
because suspiciously enough, all of these states in America that do not need voter ID, suspiciously, they all vote Democrat. Pretty weird.
People have promised me that we're going to go into elections and we're going to make sure they're not rigged, that they're not sullied. We're going to make sure that the election.
All of the riggers are rigging the election, and you know what riggers rhymes with.
Are going to be fair. You need two things. You need strong borders and you need fair elections. And we're going to make sure on the elections also. And our armed forces are one of the most vital military modernizations of all time. It will take place. So we rebuilt our military in our first term, and now we're going to modernize and remodernize our military, including building a great golden dome all over our land so that if they get nasty with us, it's going to be...
Look, dude, if the Iron Dome has proven itself so fucking awesome in Israel... America needs the Golden Dome. He's so right, by the way, because you have to realize Iran was firing ballistic missiles at Israel, and 99% of them were intercepted. America absolutely needs an anti-missile system like that. If there is some war, which there will be inevitably, I absolutely would love America to have a Golden Dome.
Knocked down, it's going to make any of the Golden Domes. They call them the Iron Domes. We're calling ours the Golden Dome because we did the Iron Domes, and we do sort of everything, if you want to know the truth, but this blows it away. We're going to keep you safe. I want to thank every member of the House and Senate who worked to get this bill on my desk, and many of them are here, and I'm not going to mention all their names because we'll be standing here, but I have to mention a few, and especially I want to thank Vice President J.D. Vance, who's been fantastic.
He said please and thank you.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who's been incredible.
He's been great. He's been cooking. He's been good.
We have somebody that it was a passion. I think he actually loved it. It wasn't easy, but he loved it. Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, who's right here.
He's been cooking
Speaker,
too.
Thank you very much.
Speaking of Mike Johnson, you want to see the most diabolical post I've ever seen on Twitter? I wasn't actually gonna even talk about this, but this is fucking insane. It's insane that he posted this. Oh my lord. Let me grab it if I can. Dude posts a lot. Lots of posts. Here it is. Alright, so this is a post on Twitter. Mike Johnson was almost aborted. He was the result of an unplanned pregnancy, but by God's grace, his mother let him live. He just helped defund the very place that could have ended his life-planned parenthood. God works in mysterious ways. Do you want to see the most insane quote retweet of all time? Destiny quote retweets it. I have never heard of a stronger argument for abortion in my life. Basically kill this guy is what he's saying. Anyway, that least unhinged behavior I've ever seen.
What a job, and he worked so closely with the Senate Majority Leader John Thune, who's a fantastic guy. And those two are a team that is not going to be beat. When you look at them and you look at their counterparts on the other side, it's not even close. I want to thank both of you people for doing an incredible job. Thank you very much, John and Mike. House Majority Leader Steve Scalise, a brave man. Steve, you know, he suffered a tragedy a number of years ago. I was at his hospital bedside that night with Melania, with our First Lady, and he had no chance. The doctor said he has very little chance, and you look better today than you did then. You didn't look particularly good that night, I will say. But I learned one thing. His beautiful wife loved him. She was a disaster, right? I told him, I said, Steve, I can only tell you one thing. I was with your family and I was with your wife, and your wife was devastated.
God damn.
She loves you. I've seen a lot of wives that, you know, they don't seem to be so concerned in those situations.
I've seen Biden's wife. She didn't even tell anyone he had cancer.
It's the kind of wife you don't want. But you have a...
He would know. He's had a couple of them.
Great, beautiful wife who was really there.
A big, beautiful wife. Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay, I have to tell you, my cousin went through a breakup, and I told him, hey, on to bigger and better, all right? And he said, maybe not bigger. I don't know why I'm looking. Anyway, great big beautiful wife. Moving on.
You really have done. You're a very brave guy, and Mike and John and everybody that's standing with you knows it. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. House Majority Whip, this is a guy who's great. When I have a problem, I call him up, and he gets it done. He's a tough cookie. I don't know why he's not the governor of Minnesota.
Oh, my God, he's out here. Regime change in Minnesota.
Look, he goes, no, I don't want to run for governor. You know, come to think of it, I think that's a good idea. You would win so easily.
Dude,
the guy
regime
is
changing
terrible.
Everything.
You would win.
You get a new regime.
Take a look at that handsome face of yours, and you'd win. Tom Emmer, everybody. He did a great job.
God damn.
I think you should consider that, although we don't want to lose him, do we? We don't want to. Let's say we are. I think say we are. What a job you did. And Senate Majority Whip John Barrasso, who's incredible. Senate Finance Chairman Mike Crapo. Thank you, Mike. What a job. What a job. He knows that tax stuff. Him and Jason, they really know their stuff. Senate Budget Committee Chairman Lindsey Graham. What a good man he is. I see a poll. He's running, and I see a poll. He's 24 points up. That's not bad, Lindsey. That's not bad. 24 points up in the great state of South Carolina. House Ways and Means Chairman Jason Smith. What a job. Thank you, Jason. Thank you. These people are great. These are great patriots. I have to call them out. House Budget Committee Chairman Jody Arrington. Jody, thank you very much.
Look, he appreciates this people. He did not need to do this, okay? He really didn't need to do this.
Jody has been good right from the beginning, and so many others, and they're all here, and they fully understand. They'll never speak to me again, but that's okay. It is what it is, but I just want to thank everybody. A lot of senators here, a lot of congressmen and women here. Lisa, thank you very much, by the way. I have to thank you. Thank you very much. You've been fantastic. So this bill will fuel massive economic growth and lift up the hardworking citizens who make this country run. The factory workers, farmers, mechanics, waiters, waitresses, police officers, firefighters, coal miners. Coal is back. Beautiful. I said you can't use the word coal unless you precede it by saying clean, beautiful coal.
We've all seen it.
China's right now building 68 coal generating plants.
And that's one number less than 69.
Wind. It doesn't work, I will tell you. Aside from ruining our fields and our valleys and
killing birds.
Killing all the birds.
Yo, I knew he was going to mention that it kills the birds. Okay, I'm going to tell you a random Nux deep dive. My favorite Trump speech I think he's ever given, literally ever, my favorite Trump speech he's ever given, okay, I'm going to show it to you because there's no way you remember this. This is like a 5-year-old speech.
We'll have an economy based on wind. I never understood wind. You know, I know windmills very much.
I know.
Studied it better than anybody. I know it's very expensive. They're made in China.
I know windmills very much. I know windmills very much. Keep going, Mr. President.
And Germany, mostly. Very few made here, almost none. But they're manufactured tremendous, if you're into this, tremendous fumes, gases are spewing into the atmosphere. You know, we have a world, right?
We have a world.
So the world is
we have a
tiny
world.
compared to the universe. So
what the fuck? The world is teeny compared to the universe.
Tremendous amount of fumes and everything. You talk about the carbon footprint. Fumes are spewing into the air, right? Spewing. Whether it's in China, Germany, it's going into the air.
China.
It's our air, their air, everything, right?
God.
So they make these things, and then they put them up.
Right.
And if you own a house within vision of some of these monsters, your house is worth 50% of the price.
Oh my God.
They're noisy. They kill the birds. You want to see a bird graveyard?
Graveyard.
Just go. Take a look. A bird graveyard? Go under a windmill someday. You'll see more birds than you've ever seen in your life. You know, in California, they were killing the bald eagle. If you shoot a bald eagle, they want to put you in jail for 10 years. A windmill will kill many bald eagles. It's true. And you know what? After a certain number, they make you turn the windmill off. That's true, by the way. They make you turn it off after you. And yet, if you killed one, they put you in jail. That's okay.
That's okay.
Why is it okay for these windmills to destroy the bird population? And that's what they're doing. I'll tell you another thing about windmills. And look, I like all forms of energy. And I think really, they're okay in industrial areas, like you have an industrial plant, you put up a windmill, you know, et cetera, et cetera. I've seen the most beautiful fields, most gorgeous things you've ever seen. Wow. And then you have these ugly things going up. And sometimes they're made by different companies. You know, I'm like a perfectionist. I really built good stuff. And so you'll see like a few windmills made by one company, General Electric. And then you'll see a few made by Siemens. And you'll see a few made by some other guy that doesn't have 10 cents. It looks like so you see all these windmills. They're all different shades of color. They're like sort of white, but one's like an orange white. It's my favorite color.
You're an orange white.
Orange.
That's my favorite color, orange. This is the greatest speech he's ever given, okay? Everyone says that other speeches are good. No, that is his best speech ever. I'm sorry, I have to give you a two-minute tangent.
Being very weak and very expensive.
Yes, that is real. That's not AI. I saw that speech live. I was dying.
In China, you know, I noticed something
Absolute
that
cinema.
with all of the windmills that China sends us, where we waste our money because it's the most expensive energy, I see that, you know, they make about 95% of them, the wind turbines. I have never seen a wind farm in China. Why is that? Somebody check that out. Tom Emmer.
Wait, what the there's no way that's true. There's no way China is making windmills, setting them all over the world, and China doesn't actually use... Are there wind farms in China? There's no way that's true. There's no wind in China. Yes, China has numerous wind farms. It's a global leader in wind energy. All right, so that was just not true. Okay, that happens to the best of us. All right, China.
So would you please check that out?
All right.
But all the coal miners we love.
China has no wind, no birds, no atmosphere.
And the truck drivers. In this act, we have officially made the Trump tax cuts permanent. That's the largest tax cut in the history of our country, added to substantial other cuts, which is you're gonna see like a rocket ship. You know, we're setting all sorts of economic records right now, and that's before this kicks in. After this kicks in, our country is going to be a rocket ship economically, and we've delivered no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors.
That's so good, bro.
And that's why when you hear things like that, this is the most it's the biggest bill of its kind ever done by far, but we are going to have a situation, we are going to have something where people are going to realize the level of success and popularity of this bill. And sort of to close it out, it makes the child tax credit permanent for 40 million American families. And to increase the car affordability, it makes interest on a new car payment. So this had never happened before. You buy a car, you borrow money, you're allowed to deduct for income tax purposes your payment of interest. You're allowed to deduct it. It's never happened before. So run out and buy a car. But I have to tell you, it's only good, Mike, if it's made in America. If it's made in another country, you don't get it.
This is so unbelievably based. You don't understand. You don't understand how based this is. Like, for real, for real. This is making it easier to buy cars and incentivizing you to buy cars from American companies to incentivize American businesses to do better. This is just a colossal W.
And to protect 2 million family farms and other small businesses, we're eliminating the estate tax or the death tax. So if you want to leave...
Dude, insane.
If you want to leave your farm or your small business, but farms are really, they have been devastated, to your children, if you love your children. By the way, if you don't love your children, don't even listen to what I'm saying. It doesn't matter.
God, why did he
but
say
if you
this?
love, would you live? Yes, I think you love your child. This one loves Barron. So I don't know if we're a small business. I think we're not. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that we qualify. I'm sorry, darling. But you know,
Oh my God, he did a whole 2-man comedy routine.
It was devastating. Farmers, they had to go out and borrow money. And by the way, is that Pam Bondi? Pam Bondi, raise your hand. Thank you, Pam, for being here. Attorney General, she's done an incredible job. So there won't be any, think of this, there won't be any death tax. You're not going to have to go borrow money. Your parents pass away and the farm goes into the bank's hands and gets foreclosed. That's not going to happen. And with 100% expensing for new investments, we're cutting taxes for every manufacturer who builds, expands, and we have expansion at the highest level that we've ever had it. We have hundreds of factories, including car plants and AI. It's coming into our country at levels that we've never seen. And to conclude, not only will we have the strongest economy on earth, we're also going to have the strongest borders on earth. And last month, did you see the number? Zero people crossed our border.
Crazy.
Zero
Insane.
illegal people. And that's after Joe Biden let 21 million people, many of them people from gangs and prisons
gang
and
members,
drug lords,
killers,
people
insane
that were
asylums,
mentally unbalanced.
prisons.
They let them into our country. We're getting them out at record numbers, and we have an obligation to, and we're doing it. So as we approach the 250th anniversary of America's founding exactly 1 year from now, we are creating an economy that delivers wealth for the middle class.
Yep.
A border that is sovereign.
That's what I was saying. The number one people that actually gains from the new bill is the middle class in America. Okay? That is to be cleared.
And secure, and a military that is unmatched, unequaled anywhere in the world. And you saw that. And what a beautiful sight that was, especially after watching what they did just a short while ago. The golden age of America is upon us. We are in the golden age. It's going to be a period of time, the likes of which I don't think this country has ever experienced before. We're going to make America great again, and it's happening very fast. We love you. We thank you for being here. Enjoy the fireworks tonight. And First Lady, I want to thank you. You have been unbelievable. You think it's easy being First Lady? It's not. Thank you all very much. Happy 4th of July. God bless you all. Thank you very much, everybody.
All right. All right, let's see the bill. Let's see him sign the bill. All right, there he is. There he is. What a big, beautiful bill. That's the bill. Look at it. Look how big and beautiful it is. Well, anyway, I hope you had a good 4th of July. I hope life's treating you good. God bless America. God bless you. God bless me. God bless everyone that hits that subscribe button. Let's up those numbers. He just signed an 1,000-page bill. It passed. He won. He keeps winning. He doesn't stop winning. Keep on winning, Mr. President. And to all the people that are trying to cancel me for thinking that he's doing a pretty good job, please keep doing that. It promotes my content. I saw a hate video on me reaching 500,000 views, and then I saw someone tackling that hate video getting 1 million views. So I'll be real, This is good. This is the hate economy is truly making me healthier and healthier. No auto pen required. Subscribe. God bless America. Let's do this again next year, right? All right, bye-bye. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, man.